live.
I think we are. There's a red thing at the top. While you distract people, I'm going to spit out my gum like a child.
Okay. Welcome, everybody, to Ask Twinsies. I'm your host, Nick Rishwain. And Mike Whalen will be joining us shortly.
Almost died on my gum just now. Hi, everybody. I'm Mike. As Nick said, Nick. We have this stupid... We're so bored. And so we created this show called Ask Twinsies, and basically what we do is you guys ask us questions, and we give you terrible...
Questions?
Questions. Gotta get the questions in. And we give terrible answers in return. Johnny Finch says, hello, also a man who is bored out of his gourd and has really lowered his life standards. So let's start into the questions, Nick. We got quite a few. This week, Justy leads it off with something timely. She says, is it inappropriate to put messaging on your mask, something to the tune of, back that ass up? I mean, I had in-person court last week, so what do you do? What do you say?
I actually like Justy's back that ass up, as opposed to the many who are making a political statement with the mask. It's like, we went from T-shirts now to masks. Just put a mask on and it make it funny. Make me enjoy it.
I saw a lady who had like tiny penises on the fabric that her mask was made of, under the logic that if you get close enough to say you have penises on your mask, that you can say you're a little too close. So stop with the important messages. There are other ways to express yourself. In this case, what we want is penises. Nicole says, "Whoa, where are Nick's glasses? It's throwing me off." What's with the fashion choice today, Nick?
Yeah, I just realized I didn't have them on, and I guess I'm close enough to the computer that it doesn't matter, although I can barely see what Nicole wrote there. So they are in the other room. That's all it is.
Maybe, and I can throw this out there, you're too close to the computer, okay? Have a large head. Have a big...
It's a beautiful head, Mike. It's a beautiful head.
As Nicole said, I showed you the penis mask. Stop stealing my things. That's right. I steal penises from Nicole. That's the message. And Steve Fisher says, hi to my wife, because that's what you do.
Everybody likes her better anyway.
Johnny, the only reason Johnny comes is to see if we answer his questions. He wants to know...
That's the only reason he's here.
What's the most awful movie you've watched more than once?
Had to think this one through. Certainly, I've seen Footloose more than once, and
Kevin
it
Bacon?
is bad. It is bad. As you get older, it gets worse. And I've also seen Eurotrip more than once. There's a wide variety that I've seen.
Have you ever seen the movie...
More than once.
This is how bad my binge pool got this last week. Have you ever seen the movie Man in the Iron Mask? It's got Leonardo DiCaprio.
Long time ago.
So bad. And I was so far down my list of things to watch because my life is, on fire. I didn't just watch that and go, boy, this is bad. I watched it and I watched to the ending and said, that was bad. I never stopped. I never questioned my life choices. Rick Robb joins in to say, interesting.
Which is normally how he contributes.
Low standards. Sean asked the question, is social media good for anything other than cat pictures? How do I optimize my time on social media? What do you think?
Yeah, optimizing your time's difficult. I would say check it in the morning and check it in the evening. But if you're not enjoying it, like I don't enjoy Facebook very much, so I'm not there.
I think it's pretty funny that he's asking advice from two guys that are doing this.
Yeah.
How do you properly use your time on social media?
Yeah, but with
the
sponsorships, Mike. I mean,
with the money and the ladies, it's hard to say no.
Hard to say no to this.
Tyson asks, favorite gardening tips. Were you on the call with Business Aaron this week when he made fun of me for using the term midlife crisis for my gardening antics?
I came in a little late, but I did hear some of that, and I think that's fair. As far as my gardening tips for Tyson, I say soil and water. Use those two.
That really
Use those
helps
two.
with the
Yeah.
marijuana growing. I just got so bored hanging out with my wife at Walmart because she thinks Walmart is date night. I just got bored and I like saw plants and I was like, I should get some of those. And I purchased the plants and then I put them out the back and I was like, I don't actually know how to do this. And about 2 weeks later, I finally Googled, what are these things and what do they do? I've probably spent like $400 now on plant related things. We might get a zucchini out of it. So probably my favorite gardening tip is go to the store, go to Sprouts.
Did you, in that same vein, Mike? Did you even find out if you were buying things that should be planted at that particular time in the year, or did you just kind of throw the seeds in the soil?
I just put them in the ground, and what's amazing is they were doing okay. They were growing pretty well, and then it rained, and they just went. Pfft. It's so weird, like the science of rainwater. It just there's some science to it. I don't understand any of it, and I'm not going to take the time to look it up. Instead, I'm going to spend $400 on a failed zucchini crop. Amy asked the question, what is the best quarantine binge for teenagers? I assume that we're talking about TV shows and not alcohol. Nick?
Yeah, for teenagers, boy. I'm going to go with The Order on Netflix. I think it's Netflix, could be Prime. That one's pretty good. The Boys, I really enjoyed the first season of that. And if they're really messed up teenagers, just go ahead and put them on Mindhunter on Netflix.
Was that one the German language one? Is that what you're talking about?
No, Mindhunter. No,
No, the
that's
first
about The Order. No, that's the magic one.
Oh.
It feels like a young adult sort of.
I tried to get my kid, like, if I were to give you a piece of advice, it would be convince your kid to go back and watch one of the Star Trek series. Because you don't remember this, but Star Trek Next Generation, there were like 40 episodes every year. And there's like 6 years of it. So you could never see your child again for the rest of the summer.
I see what you're doing there.
And if you get them to go TNG and then go DS9 and then go Voyager, you'll never have to parent again in your life. That was my parents' secret.
Yeah, so you're operating sort of a backhanded containment strategy here. I like that.
I felt that was assumed in the question because who wants to see their teenager? Speaking of, my daughters say She-Ra is the answer. There's a new animated series of She-Ra. It's quite
interesting.
Good, apparently.
Interesting.
So, because we have no control over this show or the way our life actually goes, we're going to turn some time over to Brian to talk again about haggis.
Yeah, he's obsessed. He's obsessed.
There's another question about haggis. There's a question about haggis. He gave us a cartoon of haggis. Apparently, there's. I feel
like we just have to note that Brian also has no life.
Very lonely.
Right.
Very lonely. Have you ever had haggis? I think we answered this last week.
No, we answered this last week, and
yeah.
I told him no more haggis questions, and he just does it because he doesn't have enough to do.
Well,
go ahead.
I do want to point out though, before we move on from Haggisgate, that I said if they put haggis in a taco, I might pay attention, and he sent this image, and I say that's a win.
Yeah, no, the haggis tacos did look really good.
That's a win, Scott.
Really good. And he did say something about he can't send us haggis or something like that.
That's because the Europeans don't want to be interacting with Americans anymore because we don't know how to contain a pandemic. So
I figured it had something to do with one of his other exporting businesses going poorly.
Maybe he does gardening. I did look up some, the haggis stuff because I had a rough idea of what it was. All that matters here is that they serve haggis with something called neeps and tatties.
And those are?
It's apparently mashed potato and mashed rutabaga separately. They don't mix them together, but you get a plate of, sheep intestines or whatever it is mixed with oatmeal, and then you get neeps and tatties. And all I care about is there's a thing called neeps and tatties. I would buy it just for that.
Yeah. Yeah, anywhere there's mashed potatoes, I'm willing to try the other options as well.
Speaking of food mysteries, Jason asked the question, how many licks does it take to get to the center of a Tootsie Roll Pop?
It's a tough question. It's never truly been answered scientifically, I don't think. A lot of it depends on the surface area of the tongue. And I find that it takes me about 20 minutes, but I don't know the number of licks. I know, you want to sexualize it. You don't have to.
The more you talk about the surface area
to.
of the tongue, the more I don't know the answer to that question. I do know that my siblings, we used to fight over the wrapper with the star on it. You know, remember that was a thing?
That was a big one, yeah.
Could you get the? So we would like legit get into fisticuffs over the star. That's as much as I know. Kristen asks for some fashion advice.
Naturally, we're
Obviously.
the perfect people to ask that.
She says denim
Answer
on
that.
denim. Also, the Canadian tuxedo. Is it timeless casual wardrobe staple or fashion faux pas? Denim on denim. What say you?
The Canadian tuxedo, the timeless casual wardrobe staple or fashion. I'm not big on the denim, not above the waist at least. I'm big on jeans, but I don't do denim on denim. I'd say faux pas, but it will probably come back.
Did Gerbeau make a jacket? Remember Gerbeau jeans? Like they had the big label in the front. They were poofy, and then you rolled them down at the bottom. You'd tag them down the bottom. I will tell you, if Gerbeau makes a jacket and jeans set, I will totally get that. I would get that.
Yeah, I'm going to avoid it. I think I avoided it the first time around, although there was probably some pictures of me as a child wearing the jean jacket with the jean shorts or jean pants.
With your never nude shorts on. My wife just pointed out, this was real. When we were at BYU, there was a sign that riffed off of the how many licks does it take to get to the center of a Tootsie Roll Pop. There was a sign in the career services office of BYU that literally said, how many licks does it take to get a job?
Wow. You can't do that today. You can't put that sign out there today.
Rebecca asked the question, sticking with the theme, can Nick and Mike decide whether they'd prefer a Tunnux, tea cake, or caramel? Did you look this up? Do you know what this is?
I did. I looked up a little bit, and then I gave up because I think I got distracted by something else, which normally happens. But it does look tasty, and I do enjoy caramel. So again, I'm going to encourage the people on the other side of the pond to send us these
send
things.
Us stuff. How do we know? They look like actually good little Debbies. Is what they look like to me.
Yeah,
actual. They don't cause cancer ingredients. You know, a step up from a little Debbie. If I'm understanding that right, just push the button and send it to me. I'll
send it to me, and we will actually. We may even do an unboxing or something like that on the show here, where we taste test it here on the show.
Unboxing. I'm not unboxing haggis. Tyson asks relatedly, can I have my cake and eat it too?
Yes, that's the point of being an adult.
I
know.
That's the point I can have
income.
Tyson's cake and I can eat Tyson's cake. So it would seem plausible that Tyson could have his cake and also eat it.
The thing that I found out about this probably when I got my first job, and when I was, 14, 15, something like that. I was probably driving, so I would drive to the store, and you could buy a cake yourself with the money you earned, and then you could eat it. And, nice thing about working, folks. Go get the cake, and then eat it.
Elmer asks, which fictional character would be the best addition to your household? What do you say?
The best fictional character? Ooh, this is a good question. I'm going with Scrooge Mcduck. I'm still a big fan of Scrooge Mcduck. I think he would be a lot of fun to have around, and we'd have the big pile of money to dive into. Could be a great time.
The physics of that just don't make sense. I was also thinking cartoon. I was thinking Pinky, because then I could just have somebody who follows me around and says, what are we going to do today, Brandon? And I tell him the same thing we do every day. And Pinky comes up with all the good ideas, and then I just steal them because he's so lonely and has no friends, and therefore he just gloms onto me and gives me support and tells me I'm great all the time. That's really that
So you need more praise is what you need. You require... Your family, your 4 children and wife don't do it enough, so you need a fictional character to come in and do it some more.
I have enough tiny-brained people in my life who think that I'm great. Thank you for the question, Elmer.
Mm-hmm.
Colin asks my wife is asking, can we add Tommy Shelby to our household? Do you watch
Ooh, I
Peaky
love that
Blinders?
idea. The best thing about Tommy Shelby is he's right all the time, and if his family would just listen to
Get
him,
on board.
things would go smoothly. But they're such a disaster, they ruin everything.
Nicole, seriously, on our bed today with our daughter, probably spent 20 minutes with me in the room showing my daughter beautiful pictures of Tommy Shelby. I feel really good. Colin asks the question, how many times have you two hung out in person in real life? Is it two?
I think it's two in real life. I think it's two. I don't recall.
Is that too little or too much?
Just one? No, it may have been three now. Yeah, it's been three. Clio Cloud Conference last year. The Codex is where we met, and we had dinner in Dublin.
We hung out at Clio?
Yeah, you, me, and Nicole Abood.
Oh, right. Yeah. No, I remember. Yep, 3 times is the answer. Again, I still don't know, is that too little or too much?
It's overwhelming.
That's a tough. So because this is all about my wife, she wanted to know, am I better at dad jokes? Is she better at dad jokes than me? And here's her sample. Maya called the eggs she's making a frittata. Mike said, it's not a frittata. Nicole answered, well, if it's not a frittata, is it at least an affordable tata? To which I responded, don't do that.
Yeah, that is a pretty good dad joke.
Don't cheat.
But I am getting tired of Nicole trying to make this her show. You know, she's really taken advantage of, oh, it's my idea. I should have all the questions and answers on the show as well.
This is what happens when you get super famous. These groupies, these hangers-on, just follow you around and try to bask in the glory of your fame. This happens to me all the time. Speaking of multi-part questions from people who want to be as cool as us, Johnny jumps in with this weird... The implication of a hot dog being pureed meat in an animal casing or intestine is that a hot dog doesn't stop being a hot dog even after we eat it. By that conclusion, we, as the hot dog's casing, become hot dogs ourselves when we eat hot dogs. Johnny... this was Phil. Sorry, this one was Phil. You're right. This was Phil. Phil also wants to be like us. Phil wants a ruling. Are we all in the hot dog matrix?
Yeah, I think this is a great question. Very deep, very deep. I saw this on Instagram as well. A lot of people out there needing the answer to this question, and it feels like we are a hot dog.
You smell like cured meat products.
I thank you. Yeah. Put a lot of effort into that.
So just... my wife says, I invented this show. It is my show. And Karen jumps in to say, Nicole rocks. Karen's hashtag blocked. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, when we get this picked up the same way Krasinski got his show picked up by, I know
CBS
Nicole's,
or whatever.
Yeah, I know Nicole's going to want a chunk of that money.
I feel lawsuits. Maybe Karen can represent me. Carol jumps in. These are my 2 questions. Share your first kiss story, and then what was your most horrible experience at a tech event?
Okay, so, and we have to say that Zach Glazer ruined this answer for me, maybe even for us. Yeah. Ruined the joke of when our first kiss was. Mine was, and I don't remember the name of the young lady, which is funny. I don't remember the first kiss. It was at an orchard party in high school. That was common. We would do a bonfire out in the orchards. There's a lot of orchards in where I grew up. That's it. Pretty uneventful.
I was at a dance, and I remember this girl and I had been boyfriend-girlfriend. We were like 14 or 15 or something. So being boyfriend-girlfriend meant when we went to school, we walked together. There was no... But I'm at this dance, and we're just dancing. And I think it was New Year's. And, it rings New Year's. And she goes in to kiss me. And what happened after that was like an octopus unfolded in my mouth and began to try to take territory, to own the land. And it was so violent.
you really ruined the romance involved in the first kiss.
It was so violent and aggressive, and I'm like, I need like, something, like ketchup to put on this big face meat sandwich. Like, what's happening right now? I did not enjoy it. And ever since then, I've just been trying to get my wife to kiss me more. She also asked, what was your most horrible experience at a tech event?
I don't think I've had any bad experiences at a tech event.
Because I
There's
skipped
lots
them.
of funny experiences at events, but I haven't had any bad experiences. Nothing identifiable.
Yeah, all I ever do is skip sessions to go hang out with people. So I can tell you, had I gone to many of the sessions, I would have had a bad experience. But because I don't, I have fine experiences. I've never had a bad one. Elmer asks the question, best time travel movie or series or book?
Time travel movie or series or well, come on. I mean, probably Back to the Future has to rank up there as far as just good entertainment. Other time travel that I really enjoyed, hit me with yours because there's one on the tip of my tongue that I cannot remember right now, and it's not.
I really like the Stephen King book, and I can't remember the numbers. That it had to do with a guy trying to go back and undo the Kennedy assassination, and it's really cool. I remember when I was a kid, there was a movie I watched where a whole battleship like traveled through time. There was this vortex that they traveled through time, and when they went through this vortex, all of the guys like melted into the deck, and so you saw like people reaching out of the deck of the ship, and that was awesome. And if any of you remember the name of the show, let me know. But absent that, I would have to say that Stephen King book about the JFK assassination.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with that one. I also liked a movie called Coherence that came out. It was kind of an independent film, and it's not quite time travel, a little bit more like multiverse with some time stuff in there. Very enjoyable. I think you can find it on Prime right now. Also, Bezos, reach out. We can do some sponsorships over here.
He's not calling. Rebecca asks,
Bummer.
if you could be any character from Friends, who would you be and why?
Yeah, Chandler Bing's the only one to be, I think, if I'm going to be one. He was funny, and everything else was just kind of boring.
Yeah, he was a sarcastic prick, so I identified
Yeah.
most with him.
Yeah.
I think you'd have been really good as Chandler's dad.
I don't remember that role.
It was the lady from Romancing the Stone. What was that lady's name? Kathleen.
Kathleen Turner.
Is that her? Yeah.
I think so.
It was her playing Chandler's cross-dressing father.
Oh, okay.
Shreya asked the question, is Microsoft cool again?
I think it's still relatively cool. I mean, I use their products all the time. Why? When was it? Was it not cool for?
Don't they own like 90% of the market or something?
Yeah.
I don't know when you become uncool. But I will say, in the design community, I was watching a talk from Don Norman, who wrote the book, The Design of Everyday Thing. And he said the thing about Apple as a design company is they keep making it prettier, but work less. Right? Like the thing gets worse and worse, but it looks better. And so it's this total bastardization of design. I think Microsoft, in this age that you need really connected tools, is winning that battle.
And I just read today, interestingly enough, that you don't want to buy a new MacBook Pro or MacBook Air because they are sidelining the Intel processor for their own processor, and basically people said that this is a bad decision from a couple of different articles that I read, which is good for me because I'm thinking about buying a new computer, and I was going to go MacBook because I've enjoyed it, but maybe I won't do it now.
James asks, how many dryer sheets are appropriate for the dryer? Do you do laundry?
Yeah, I did it today even. I go one dryer sheet per load.
I'm pretty sure this is the third time I've worn this shirt without washing it. And
but
I didn't even
when's the last time you even left the house, though?
Seriously, I didn't even throw this in the dryer to get the wrinkles out. I have gone so far down in my giving a crap that I'm just... The answer, James, is none, because I'm not washing any laundry.
Yeah, and your level was low to begin with.
Pretty low quality.
Yeah.
Do you know anything about campers? Shreya did a poll on Twitter and only got 3 responses, so we need to help her out. Buying a camper van or building out a cargo van for camping, what do you think? Terrible idea or great idea?
Awful. Why would you go camping? Why? We keep talking to people about this.
It's outside.
This has come up. Yeah. Rent a place, Airbnb, hotel, where there's beds and water and stuff like that.
Mint.
Don't do the
on your pillow.
On your pillow.
What's a camper van?
I don't know.
Is that the kind that's just like a huge van with a bed in it?
I voted on this. I'm one of those who said terrible idea because there's bears and monsters out there.
I wonder if the camper van thing is like chupacabras everywhere. I wonder if that's like glamping, you know?
I don't know.
Where you're technically outside, but you're glamour camping. You've got TVs and running water and everything's great. Yeah. That I could justify.
If you're gonna do that, I feel like you got to go buy the fancier one, you know, and where you can plug in your PS4 or your Xbox and get your Wi-Fi up.
You want to camp in a way that you don't know that you're camping. You've distracted yourself so much from the camping, you might as well be at home. That's the proper way. If you're going to do that, get it done.
Get that and buy that camper.
Last question for the day comes from Tyson. What's your favorite scent?
My own, naturally. Rishwain Musk.
Because we can't end with the same answer, I am going to say brownies cooking.
Ooh, good call.
I like brownies cooking. Call. I think that's a really good, just a happy smell altogether.
Yeah, I joke when I say my own, but if we're really going for, brownies, any of the cake items are really, really good. Pizza, bacon in the oven, also a nice one.
My wife got in a fight with her perfume company this week. It's a long story. I won't get into it. The point is, she is apparently going to get rid of the perfume that she gets, and it makes me really sad because I love that smell, and I just sniff her. I just sniff her all day. It's fine. It's totally healthy. Yeah.
Well, this went downhill quick. And that's it for this week, folks.
I like to smell you too, Nick. Don't feel left out. I'm Mike. This is Nick. This has been Ask Twinsies. Don't forget, during the week, you can ask questions to which we will give useless answers next week using the Ask Twinsies hashtag. We will find it on the socials. You guys try to get through. It's another week. We don't know what's going on. Everything's terrible. We'll see you next week.
Bye-bye.